you know, I hope everyone not to face the disaster that we have faced and we are facing in Italy and many other countries. But I want to think to the future, and I want to reply to the questions that Emilia said at the beginning. What's next? So I think that we should focus on three keywords: solidarity, coherency, unity. I'm not going to tell you, because we are in a rush of time, what we are doing, and we are sending information in the CIB group, so you will find all our best practices in this time. But please let me briefly express why I would choose these three words. You know, being an European Association of Local Authorities, I cannot not make a comment on what is the situation in Europe, because as we are saying today, we need to learn from our lessons. And, you know, coming from a continent where the European Union is based on principle like the free movement of people, goods, services, and also the security, including health, of its citizens. And seeing right now during the coronavirus emergency that even if the European Union was establishing common lines of defense, there were member states that were taking different measures at their borders. There are countries that have banned any entry, any movement, any goods exchange. So I'm thinking how this closing attitude relates to the values of the 2030 agenda. How member states at the EU level can report their national voluntary report to the ICCRE when their response to an emergency concerning public health is to close their countries. How not facilitate the exchange of medical devices in transit to countries that need them urgently? How closing borders at migrants? How can they disregard the principle of solidarity between people? So for this experience that we have learned in Europe, I'm saying that as associations of local authorities, we should react and contrast nationalist policies contrary to the values of solidarity that we represent. And we should be united, this is the second keyword, as association to contrast, but all together, national decisions that are contrary to the 2030 agenda, to the European values, to our values. And we must raise our voice at this time. And I think that for the future, and I'm happy to see what was from the survey is also my point, we should improve our international cooperation activities as a priority to implement worldwide the values that SDGs represent. And we need to assist our members to be more and more engaged in cooperation, because this is the best things that we can do for them. And we should also strengthen our advocacy activity to be really being recognized as an association of local authorities, also by the European Commission, because honestly speaking, we are not yet acknowledged as association in decentralized cooperation activity. So to conclude, I think that we should claim for coherency at the national level, for solidarity to our members, and for unity between association of local authorities. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carla. I think you've captivated there what our movement is about, actually. I think that solidarity, coherence, and unity are in the DNA of our movement. There is one thing, however, that I want to share with you. When in a letter from UCLG to the UN Secretary General, very recent letter, we've said that that we feel that some of the claims for solidarity nowadays need to be transformed, need to be changed into a call for transformation of the governance. It's no longer about being good with each other. Closing borders or opening borders is not about solidarity any longer, but it's about efficiency. It's about doing things well for everybody. I think that is the kind of transformative discussion that local governments, local and regional governments need to lead through their associations. So thank you very much for this. Look, I'm going to give the floor to colleagues, to a couple of colleagues, simply because we haven't covered all parts of the world. And in UCLG Turkey, although being very European, is also within our MEWA region, and I would like to hear from Cemal. But Cemal, I'm going to be really strict, and I'm giving you 2 minutes only to just share.
Thank you.